Trying to protect his students' innocence, he told them the Ice Age was really just the Chilly Age, a period of 1,000,000 years when everyone had to wear sweaters. And the Stone Age became the Gravel Age, named after the long driveways of the time. The Spanish Inquisition was nothing more than an outbreak of questions such as, how far is it here from Madrid? What do you call the matador's hat? The War of the Roses took place in a garden, and the Enola Gay dropped only one tiny atom on Japan. The children would leave his classroom for the playground to torment the weak and the smart, mussing up their hair and breaking their glasses while he gathered up his notes and walked home past flower beds and white picket fences, wondering if they would believe the soldiers in the Boer War told long, rambling stories designed to make the enemy nod off.
Okay, so we're going to be annotating The History Teacher by Billy Collins. So I'm using Soapstone to annotate this, but the first thing that we're going to do is read it. Trying to protect his students' innocence. So his relates to that it's in third person and that the teacher is not the speaker in this. He told, so this is in past tense, so it was, told, everything is in past tense. He told them the Ice Age was really just the Chilly Age, a period of 1,000,000 years when everyone had to wear sweaters. And the Stone Age became the Gravel Age, named after the long driveways of time. So age is used as anaphora in this because it's repeated a lot and it's repetition, and also it's kind of predictable because age is in a lot of historical things. So the Spanish Inquisition was nothing more than an outbreak of questions such as, how far is it from here to Madrid? What do you call the matador's hat? So this is euphemism. It's kind of like its rawest form. Euphemism is used a lot throughout this poem, and it's just kind of softening the truth, like saying that, like, so for example, not using this euphemism would be like instead of saying your grandma died, you could just say your grandma passed away. So this is also used as euphemism. Instead of saying that it was things were a huge war or something, he's just saying like, oh, it was just a little fight, something to soften the truth. The War of the Roses took place in a garden, and the Enola Gay dropped one tiny atom on Japan. So one tiny atom can also symbolize the innocence of the children. One tiny atom kind of symbolizes meek and tiny children. Yeah. So the children would leave his classroom for the playground to torment the weak and the smart, messing up their hair and breaking their glasses. So this kind of is like viewed as a consequence for the children. The children are not as innocent as there seem to be. In the beginning, he says that he's trying to protect the students' innocence. However, right here, it kind of shows that the students are not as innocent as the teacher really has expected, because they are tormenting children and they're bullying kids and they're not being as pure and innocent as the teacher's expecting. So, while he gathered up his notes and walked home past the flower beds and white picket fences. So this is kind of a tone shift from being a consequence of his not teaching them history, like something bad, to being super happy and a perfect day, compared from all the war that was also up here and rage and horror. Wondering if they would believe that soldiers in the Boer War told long rambling stories designed to make the enemy nod off. So that's the end of the poem, and we're just going to talk about it through Soapstone. So the speaker is a man on the outside looking in. Obviously, it's not the history teacher due to the fact that it's used in third person. So yeah, the occasion is the teacher's class and his students. So the teacher is just talking about how he teaches his class, or the speaker is talking about how he teaches his class. And it's also just kind of saying that, like, what his teaching techniques are, and so yeah, that's the occasion for it. The audience can be really anyone. It's also a humorous poem, so it can be really anyone that has any comical interest in this. Also, it could be for other teachers or history buffs, it could be like a laugh for other teachers, just seeing how other teachers teach other things. History buffs could get a laugh out of this because it's just funny, due to the fact that, like, Stone Age and Gravel Age, yeah. The purpose is to portray how a teacher cares about his students, and ignorance is bliss. So the saying ignorance is bliss kind of depicts that, not knowing things can be blissful and happy. So all of his kids, what he thinks is that the kids don't really know anything. However, they obviously in this paragraph, they kind of seem like they do know a lot. So but the purpose of the whole poem is to show that like how the teacher teaches his kids and how the teacher tries to protect the kids' ignorance and innocence. And then the subject is history being made soft, so euphemism. So a lot of this is just mainly just euphemism. So a lot of euphemism, just like saying stuff in the way that kids would understand it and not really, you know, destroying history for them and telling them all the bad things first. And then lastly, tone. So we have a lot of tone. I got a lot of tone in here. A lot of different themes and tones and whatever. So some tone is a sense of ignorance. So ignorance among the children, they don't really know any of this because the teacher never taught them this. So that can be kind of bad and good at the same time. And then as well as protection. So the teacher is trying to protect their innocence and ignorance. But I mean, he can't protect it for the longest time. So he's just kind of savoring that short-term protection. Irony is a really big theme and tone in this. Some irony would be, so down here, if we look down here, he tries to protect their innocence even though they're not innocent. So the children in this stanza, it kind of shows that the children are bullying kids and they're not being as nice as the teacher kind of expected them to be. And in the first stanza, the teacher is kind of expecting them to be, oh, like ignorant, innocent kids that have a blissful childhood. However, that's not the case, and that's ironic. Another piece of irony from this poem would be that he doesn't teach the kids to learn from mistakes from history. So history is basically all about learning from others' mistakes and not repeating them. And so the teacher doesn't teach the kids the mistakes that other people in the past have made. So the kids don't really know that. And that's pretty much used to his demise because the kids are acting out and they're not really understanding history and how that can affect others. And then we have humor. So humor is kind of all throughout this. It's kind of showing how it's just funny how the teacher, he like says that the ice age is the chilly age and people are wearing sweaters, and it's just a little bit humorous. And then although it was humor, it's a lot of sadness is in this as well, because at the end it says, wondering if they would ever believe that the soldiers did this instead of like fighting and killing. So it's saying that like one day the kids will grow up and learn all of this, but for right now he kind of wants to savor it. However, he's still kind of expecting, and he's wondering like, will they actually believe this? Will they believe me and keep their childhood intact? So yeah, that's the history teacher.